Hey everyone, Rascal here, and welcome to another Rascal Reviews. Today I'm reviewing the Netflix animated movie SEAL Team. And I'm going to be probably reviewing a lot of these Netflix animated movies since they have decided to shut down their animation division. I am still not over that. So I'm going to be taking a look at a lot of these Netflix originals that they still have left over, whether they be new from before the shutdown or things that have been on here a while and I just never decided to look at until now. And before we start, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much. So today is SEAL Team. And this is another movie that I find to be another underrated and underappreciated animated film. So for SEAL Team, you're kind of hearing the title and you're thinking, is this a war movie? Well, yes and no. There is a SEAL Team movie and series out there about the actual Navy SEALs, and it's a really hardcore drama, action, military show. I've never seen it, but that is what it's about. But this movie is literally SEAL Team. If you are looking at the image in front of you, it is literally a bunch of SEALs as a military force. Literally SEAL Team. And this movie kind of parodies these types of military ragtag misfit group that has to save the day. It really parodies those types of movies like the A-Team and what's the movie, like the Expendables, A-Team, and those types of movies. I'm not sure what the genre will be called for that, but it's one of those types of films. Now for this movie, it stars J.K. Simmons, Usher, Matthew Rice, Patrick Warburton, Kristen Shaw, Shaltel Copley, John Candy, Dolph Lundgren, and SEAL himself. Yes, as SEAL, literally as SEAL the SEAL. I am not kidding, that is the name of the character. And they take full advantage of that pun. So for here, the SEAL Team movie is about a group of SEALs. They're not, well, one of them is military trained. The rest are sort of these, I could say like lower level SEAls. They got them set up in this place. It's not in an anthropomorphic world where it's all talking animals, but they still got humans, but they have only the sea animals and the sea creatures talking throughout the film with some humans thrown here and there. Now, originally I thought the movie was about an old team of aquatic animals being a military force, being the pun on it. Well, it starts off like that, and it changes after 5 minutes, so it ends up being a different movie than what I thought. And at first, I really liked the concept they had at the beginning, and then the fact that they were going for the ragtag misfit group saving the day thing, which I've seen a lot of times. I kind of lost some excitement for it, and it was a while before I went back to it. I had started and then I stopped. I was like, well, this isn't what I thought. So it was a while and then decided, okay, let's go ahead and finish. This is like the day of the Super Bowl. It was sort of like an action movie to watch before the game and the Super Bowl ads came on. And well, I watched the rest of the film. It starts off a little rocky. It kind of goes with a lot of the tropes you see in the movies, with these underdog type movies, and the misfit band saving the day and being more than they can type films. And it actually ended up being pretty good. Now, it's not a perfect movie. It has flaws. Like I said, a rocky start. Some jokes don't land. It really didn't take full advantage of the scenario. And clearly this is something been developing for a while, because if you look up this movie, they actually have some old posts on what it was before, and it's not really too different, but you can tell that the character designs were different, and it was more of a low-key movie rather than a high-octane one. So for this version, the seals are kind of like, I guess, the lower class animals in here, and the sharks are the higher ranks. So think of it like a new-gen Shark Tale. And they pretty much terrorize the seals. They take all the fish and they try to eat the seals if they ever get into their territory. And it focuses on two best friend seals, Benji and Quinn. I think Quinn... I'm sorry, no. Benji ends up getting eaten, leaving Quinn by himself. And he vows to stop the sharks once and for all, so he drives them out of their ocean. And yeah, it really starts off the bat with a death. One, you thought it was a death and sort of a fake out, but it was hilarious. If you watch the movie, you'll see it was actually a really clever joke they made. But this one, they actually played it straight. I kind of thought he would come back, and he didn't. So they actually got away with a shark eating another animal. Usually they don't. They hint at it, or they constantly chase them and nothing happens to them. But here, I was kind of surprised they actually went through with it and had a seal get eaten by a shark. And the way the sharks are sized, I think they've been eating a lot of seals lately. So he finds this old retired SEAL captain, I'm not kidding you, voiced by J.K. Simmons, who used to be part of his own team. And he asked him for help to train him and some of his friends to combat the sharks so they can drive them out of the waters and stop terrorizing their families. And from there, it actually ends up starting to get better. You have to get past the rocky beginning, the shocking part of taking out a character really early on in the film, and then assembling the team. Once they start getting to about, like, after the training part, that's when the movie starts to pick up, and then they really start getting creative and doing more than what they're given. Like, there's even a part in this movie where they have a SEAL named, I think, Twitch, and he's sort of like the Michelangelo, not the Michelangelo, sorry, wrong guy, the Donatello of the group. He even has the goggles on. The voice kind of sounds like the one from the new Rise of the TMNT show. It almost sounds like him, or they were referencing him when they made the character. And he makes all of these inventions out of human machines and the animals that are in the ocean. And he ends up having this invisibility suit, almost something reminiscent of Iron Man or Mysterio. And the octopuses come onto the suit and they make him invisible, and it's actually like really creative that they actually went through with that. The starfish could be like ninja stars, the squids were projectile missiles, and a launcher. It was actually really creative. When they got to that point, that's when the movie started to pick up. And there were a couple not so great lines in here. I won't hide that. It was kind of feeling like, oh gosh, some of these lines shouldn't be said. They just kind of fell flat. But for the most part, they did a good job. It felt like they really were trying. Not every joke landed, but they were trying harder than they needed to. And I think it's worth checking out. You may not love it as much as I do, and it's totally fine. I can completely understand because I wasn't sure about it either. But I really loved SEAL Team. It ended up being another gem to find on Netflix. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. They had to find their footing, and then once they did, the movie takes off and it's hilarious. They really do a lot of great things with their setting, with the weapons, with the jokes. It really picks up from there and it ends up being a really great film. And I definitely recommend it to you. And I'm even added them to my team because no one talks about this movie. It's one of those Netflix movies where it'll come up on there and nobody talks about it because it's just not one of those films that really takes off for a lot of people. It's not something big and deep and extraordinary like an anime or some other film that really tackles mature subject matter. This one was really just meant to be a really fun family movie. You can get past the unexpected death part. It's a really fun family movie. It's a really fun kids movie. And the one point I've left until the end is the animation. If you pay attention to how the characters move in the movie, or you watch the trailer, it looks like they copied Into the Spider-Verse, or they got the same animation studio as Into the Spider-Verse, because they move like they're in a comic. It's really vibrant. The backgrounds go almost all anime style and comic strip style when they do big actions. Their facial expressions and mouth movements move like they're in a comic. There's only so many frames at a time. I could not tell if it was the same studio or they were copying it, because there's not a lot of information about this movie online outside from what you know on Wikipedia. So if you guys know what studio did the animation, if it's the same one from Spider-Verse, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, SEAL Team, I think, is a great movie. It's something just to really laugh at. Just, if you're bored, turn on, give it a watch. You'll definitely enjoy it. If not every joke lands, you don't love it, It's totally fine, and it's definitely understandable because not everything hit, but it did good enough to where, hey, this movie tried. They really, really tried, and it shows. If you haven't seen Seal movie, go check it out on Netflix. It's still on there. It's a Netflix original. And you can also update me if they end up removing it, and then I can probably make a new update in the comments to let you know about where else you could possibly watch it. And if you have seen SEAL Team, let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Or you just have no opinion on it? Let me know that below, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Later.